What's up everybody, it's your boy Duty back again with another video, and again this is my second part of the daily rap because Phil decided to bore everyone and go long-winded to justify why he is wage quitting Atomic Heart and why he's going to continue playing Last of Like a Dragon game, which is just as trash as the other one. But anyway, yeah, our boy Phil here just went on a long-winded rant last night. And I was going to do one video, but it was just going to be like 30 minutes. And I didn't feel like making a 30-minute video. So this is part 2. This is where he's going to now focus on the Like a Dragon game playthrough. And yeah, let's hear his thoughts because I have a lot to say about this.
The second half of today was Like a Dragon Ishin. Now, I am going to basically play Like a Dragon Ishin just like I play my other chill playthroughs. All right, it's not necessarily about insane amounts of progress every time I play it. Instead, it's more about having a cool interactive time with my audience who's watching, having fun conversation, having a good social atmosphere, and a relaxing, laid-back style allows these playthroughs to be good. So tonight, with 2 more hours of Like a Dragon Ishin, we actually finished chapter 2, which had some really big plot developments. We head into chapter 3, which is actually a new location of the map. Unlocked a few new different things here and there, but for the most part it was a good advancement and fun interactions and a chill time. Had the exact same number of viewers at the beginning of the stream as the end. Everyone stuck around. The engagement was sky high. We had fun conversation and a good time tonight. You want to talk about night and day? That's the difference between what I feel is a game that's going to work as a long-term playthrough versus a game that basically is kind of dead on arrival.
Okay. I don't know if anyone caught that playthrough, but that playthrough was utter dead. He barely had 200 people on that stream. No one was talking. No one was engaging with Phil. The people were talking and engaging with each other, talking about random stuff like they normally do on these night chill streams, right? And you can just go directly. You can go directly to Phil's channel and watch that playthrough because he actually uploaded the whole thing. He didn't parse it out. Because he's having problems loading it. So you can actually go in and take a look at the playthrough, and it was just utterly garbage dead, right? The other thing was that Phil, let's see here. I'm looking right now at his playthrough, right? You can't hear it, right? But essentially, he was at $28, right? Because someone that came in, an anonymous donor. All these anonymous donors were popping up yesterday. Not many, 2 or 3. And dropped the 15th spot, and he's at $28. Mind you, this took 2 hours for him to even get to that. Before that, he was roughly at, I think, $13 for the first hour and 58 minutes, right? And then someone came in and dropped a $15 dono. And then right after that, someone came in, again, random. I love how they're always all random. Some random dude came in around the, I think I'm going to say about the 2 hour mark and dropped a $250 dono on Phil. And I'm expecting this is probably Emil feeling bad that he couldn't pump out the $100, or no, not the $100. He couldn't pump out the 100 member bomb that Phil needed. That would have ran him almost $500. So what he did was he was able to probably borrow $250 from his mom and give it to Phil. And of course he posted it anonymously because of course his social credit score is down in the sewers with Phil. So he probably was the one that did the $250. But other than that, the playthrough was dead. There was no conversations. No one gave a shit. His view count was low as hell. And then, of course, when he got that $250 dono, he lightened up. He brightened up. He put on his Luffy hat. He put on some vests. And then he played for another, let's see how long it went for. He played for another like 25 minutes. That's what he did. And he was super happy. Yet the game was boring as all hell, but of course because he made $250, he's happy like a pig in slop. He's happy like a pig in slop, and that's the difference here. That's the only difference between these two playthroughs. The Last of Dragon is super boring. There is nothing interesting, and how many Yakuza games have Phil played where it's just boring and uninteresting? And this game's gonna get the same treatment where support's gonna fall off very quickly on this, and Phil's gonna sit there and complain. But yeah, he's gonna have to play it because he paid for it, 1, and 2. You know, he needs something to play, so he'll do it for the night streams to alternate that with Oblivion and just bore the crap out of his viewers. And then it's totally different with Atomic Heart because, yeah, he paid nothing for that game. And that game is bringing in no support whatsoever. So Like a Dragon brought in $25 the first playthrough and then $250 for the second. So essentially for 2 playthroughs, it brought $275 in tips, which comes out to $138 or whatever it is per stream. And that's great for Phil. Phil loves that. But Atomic Heart did not. Atomic Heart barely brought in $100 for 2 playthroughs, and Phil cannot deal playing a game that only, especially if it's a main premier game that's only bringing them tier 1 tip goal. It's not. Phil cannot do it just out of his pride or whatever. He's not going to do it. So of course now he's wage quitting that game, but he's kind of forced to keep playing. He's kind of forced to play Like a Dragon. So he's going to play it again. The next time I play, he'll have a little support yet again. And then, of course, he'll complain and say, oh, guys, I don't know what happened. You guys liked the stream before. Remember the second stream? Nice. Remember? We engagement, support was off the charts. I don't know what's going on. It's the same song and story with this guy. And it's just infuriating when I hear him. You know what I mean? It's very infuriating. So I'll just leave it at that. I don't feel like getting a community strike for screaming and cursing at this fool.
All right. So I had a great time with Like a Dragon Ishin. I can't wait to play more of it after the weekend. All right. So overall, a fun day, and we finally got a grasp on what these games are. And I need your feedback. Now, something happened today that sucks. I was uploading the videos from earlier today, including the Level 1 podcast and 3 parts of Atomic Heart. Both the Level 1 podcast and Atomic Heart got stuck in processing. All right. So only parts 4 and 5 of Atomic Heart went live. The podcast in part 3 just stuck endlessly and never processed, so no one could ever see it. So I waited for the entirety of my late stream, looked back, still not there. So as of now, as I film this, I am re-uploading all that stuff to the channel in the hopes that it will go live tonight. I don't think it's an issue with the videos. I think YouTube was having an issue at the time I uploaded those videos, and therefore they just sat in a server, never got accepted to be processed for the queue or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Usually that occurs when you're trying to load multiple files at the same time, Phil. So we know you have 3 playthroughs, 3 separate playthroughs or whatever. If you're talking about your podcast, you got your podcast, which is 1, and then 3 hours of gameplay. That's 4 videos. And what you do is you just upload everything at the same time, and that causes issues. That causes issues because you're flooding your you're flooding your internet, the bandwidth, and it's processing stuff, and that typically what happens with YouTube. I know because at times I've tried to load multiple files, big files at the same time, and if they're over 2 gigs each, which I know yours are, if they're at least over 2 gigs, it's just going to cause issues. So if you want to avoid that, Phil, just upload 1 video at a time. It will load the 1 video faster than if you're trying to load 4 at the same time. So just load 1, let it finish, then load a second one.
That's very annoying. So if you were waiting for those tonight, my apologies that they didn't show up. I am re-uploading them now, and they should go live along with parts 4 and 5 of Like a Dragon Ishin, within a few hours here on DSP Gaming. I hope they do. If they don't, I have to take it another try, right? Or maybe what I could do is try to, edit down the live stream into those parts and separate them. We'll have to see, but I hope that the re-uploads work, okay?
Spoiler alert, it did not work. It did not upload. And again, it's probably because they're probably larger they're probably larger files, and he's trying to upload them at the same time. Excuse me, he needs to load 1 file at a time, and he should be okay.
Now, one final thing before we talk about tomorrow. The members goal for this month is not dead. However, we did get that giant member bomb dip during my day off yesterday. We are down to like 370 something members, which is the lowest it's been on this channel. Shit, since I probably started full-time streaming 2 years ago here.
No, Phil, you were at 0 when you first started streaming. You didn't. It took you over a year just to get over. It took you about 8 to 9 months to get over 200 videos. Remember that video of you in August screaming about not hitting the members goal? Remember how you needed money and support and all that stuff, and you didn't know how you didn't know how you were going to continue your business. Remember that in August, right? And then you were at 380. I made a video about this yesterday, Phil. You were at 381. No, you were at 384 members before. You were at 384 before gifted memberships became a thing. Gifted memberships became a thing in May 18th. If you watch my video, you can see. On May 16th, you were at 384. Gifted memberships became a thing. I think you got 100 the first day. You popped off. You were between you averaged between 4 and 550, and then you got a couple high bumps, and then it dropped, right? And that's been the pattern for 2022. And what you like to say is your philosophy in business is that gifted memberships is organic growth, because even if you get 100 gifted members, you at least 10 of them will become members, right? That's your philosophy, right? So you've had gifted memberships for what, 9 months? So in theory, if you were at a high point of 384 members before gifted members became a thing, you should essentially be really close to 500. You should be at like 490. That should be your low point when all gifted subs get removed or whatever. Based on your numbers, if 10% of that of 100 gifted members, 10% become actual paying members, right? They renew, then you should be roughly around 480 to 490. Where are you? You're at 381. You were at 381 yesterday, and now you're down to 377, I think it is. So Phil, in a matter of 9 months that gifted memberships has been a thing, right? You're now negative. Your channel has declined. Your high point was 384 before gifted memberships. You were at 377 now. So essentially you're minus 7 members in 9 months, Phil. No one wants to buy your crappy memberships. Why? Because they know someone's going to come in and buy gifted memberships to appease you. They're going to get a free membership. And then if they don't get one the next month, they just say, whatever, I'll wait for it to happen again. And that's the problem, Phil. None of these people are buying these no one is re-upping the gifted memberships. And that's a problem for your channel. Yeah, you may get that bump in pay every month, right? But the problem is months like this where you don't get that member bomb and you end up drowning back in, terrible membership numbers. I mean, 377 members is great. You figure $4 a pop. You're looking at, You're looking at $1,400 before YouTube takes their cut every month for absolutely doing nothing and giving no one anything. You're giving them, chat badges or whatever badges and emotes. Okay, that's not worth $1,400. It isn't. But people pay that money. But that is your high watermark, Phil, and you fail to hit it. After 9 months, you are negative 7 members on your membership growth. And to me, that tells me your channel is declining on top of your revenue. If you look at your tips and your super chats, I did a video on that, and that clearly shows that you are down 25% in your tips and your super chat from last year, this given period. So if you look at your January and your February numbers for 2022 compared to 2023, you were down 25%. And that's not even including the memberships. If you include the memberships, that's even lower. But that's a little difficult because sometimes some members are ultra members, some are not. So it's hard to calculate. So that's why I don't even bother calculating it. But your net revenue, Phil, is lower than where you were last year. And you consider yourself a business. And as a business, what you expect to see is growth every quarter. You expect a small growth every fourth quarter. And what I'm telling you, Phil, is that's not happening for you. It's been 9 months, and here you are. And on top of that, you're throwing in a new channel, which is watering down your content of DSP gaming. And it's just going to spiral out. I gave you to the end of the year for this DSP reacting to go away and not be a thing. It may be sooner than that. So I may owe Prophet something since Prophet was leaning on the month or two. I may need to revise my prediction. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. The rest is just him talking whatever, the garbage. I'm not gonna waste your time on it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.